Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Bold and the Beautiful Bank. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Bold and Beautiful's shocking next Sheila twist would tick off fans and leave Bill Bell grinning from ear to ear. Among the many reasons that Young and Restless and Bold and Beautiful co-creator William J. Bell is revered as a legend is the fact that when he wrote, he was fearless. Even if a plot was sick, twisted, disturbing, he wouldn't shy away from it, not if it made for engrossing television. So we're surer than sure that if he were alive today, he'd be delighting in the storyline that Bold and Beautiful appears poised to launch. Bold and Beautiful has one way left to save Sheila, and her long-lost look-alike, ain't it? Mother's little helper. We know we're supposed to believe that Sheila is really most sincerely dead, but we 100% don't, thanks on one hand to this long-gone character, and on the other to the fact that Finn is starting to see his, say it with us, birth mother on the regular. By and by, we're sure that she'll reveal that his vision doesn't need checking, she really has cheated death yet again. Then, leaning into his inexplicable fixation with the woman who tried to murder the mother of his child, and her mother and stepmother, and Finn will wholeheartedly embrace Sheila. I want to tell the world, the doctor shares with the merry murderess. I want to tell everybody that you're all right and you're my mother and I love you. But if I do, the cycle will start all over. Steffi, Ridge, Liam, they won't rest until we're apart again. Dear, sweet, naive Finn. Being new to the world of conniving, he doesn't see what Sheila does. A golden opportunity for them to start anew. Away from the prying eyes of his disapproving family. She floats the idea that she and her son spent time together in private. Maybe he could even bring Hayes by so he can get to know his nana. Steffi doesn't need to know, and Sheila adds, what she doesn't know won't hurt her or your marriage. Bizarre love triangle. What we'd get would be the strangest of triangles, in which Finn is sneaking around to see the other woman. Only in this case, she's not his mistress, but his monster. Ironically, at least at first, this has a positive effect on his relationship with Steffi. Since he knows that Sheila's fine, he can canoodle with his wife without those pesky reenactments of her murder invading his thoughts. But of course, a house of cards this rickety would have to come tumbling down. Sheila doesn't just want Finn in her life, of course. She also wants Deacon. And if she's going to continue to play dead, it's not like she can start bussing tables at El Giardino again. Does she dare risk revealing to someone else that she's alive? The choice may be made for her when a blast from the past returns to LA, and sparks start flying between Deacon and a certain old flame. If Sheila doesn't roll the dice and let her fiancé in on her big secret, and fast, she could lose him forever. Classic Bill Bell. You might say that playing Sheila and Finn as co-conspirators sneaking around behind Steffi's back smacks of incest, and you'd be right. But part of what would make the story work is that ick factor. Bell never shied away from ick, or it. Remember when he had Young and Restless Christine engaged to a guy who turned out to be her brother? He knew how to sell creepy gothic storylines as well as he did sweeping romances and bitter rivalries. And no matter how horrified or perturbed you might be, you know you'd tune all the way in to see what happened next. Bold and Beautiful's Annika Noel teases the big week for Hope that will rock the Logans and Forresters, and could destroy, spoilers, marriage. Much of the drama on Bold and Beautiful has revolved around Steffi and the aftermath of her stabbing to death, the notorious Sheila Carter, with Hope playing a supporting role. But the tide is about to turn as Brooke's daughter gets a big week of her own. Well, okay then. Bold and Beautiful just casually came out and told us, spoiler, is Luna's father. The Forresters and Logans, Hope included, were stunned to hear that Sheila had met an unexpected and bloody end at the Cliff House and have spent much of their time since discussing the matter. Hope hightailed it over to Deacon's place, wanting to be the one to break the news to her besotted dad, despite Sheila being the cause of their most recent estrangement, only to discover that Finn had beat her to the punch. Having an unpopular former con as a father allowed Hope to empathize with Finn, who was somehow devastated by the loss of his birth mother, despite the fact that she shot him and Steffi and left them to die, and tried valiantly to keep them apart after the fact. The last time he thought Sheila had perished, Finn was remarkably unaffected, but having her meet her end in his home at his wife's hand sent him for a loop this time around. After comforting Finn and establishing a closeness that could have implications for Thope down the road, Hope moved on to hand-wringing about the ramifications of the killing on his and Steffi's marriage, but her focus is about to shift back to her own relationship in a big way. Annika Noel took to her Instagram story to tease a big week for Hope, and it all starts with a trip back in time. Rather surprisingly, 'cause bold and beautiful, Thomas and Hope will be allowed to forget about the Sheila fallout long enough to reminisce about their time together in Rome, Italy. As most will recall, Thope kissed for the first time, whilst exploring the city of eternal love hand in hand after their successful fashion preview there last year. Although Hope was still with Liam at the time, the kiss shared with Thomas beside the Colosseum, witnessed by her husband, marked the moment when her heart truly began to switch allegiances. Hope made it clear that she was not in love with Thomas and was taking things slow, but they've been inseparable since he gave Hope a seemingly life-changing romp in the hay, and she eventually agreed to wear his engagement ring on a chain around her neck. Hope's mother interrupted said romp in the hay and has been none too pleased about the developments between Thope from that point on given the history. Unsurprisingly, part of Hope's big week will involve yet another attempt to get Brooke on board with her relationship with Thomas and to try and make her see how committed and caring he is toward her. We wish her the best of luck with that and fully expect her to be unsuccessful, given the use of the word attempts in the spoiler. Meanwhile, Brooke's husband Ridge will spend some time encouraging Thomas to act boldly in his love for Hope. And while his bold actions in the past where Hope is concerned amounted to nothing less than a scary obsession times, and Thomas it would seem, have changed. If our hunch is correct, Hope's big week will also be huge for Thomas as she will finally accept his proposal of marriage and move his engagement ring from the chain around her neck to her finger. Week's end has Thomas designing a beautiful new gown for Hope, which can only be her wedding dress, and we're assuming word of the impending nuptials will spread like wildfire, and for some will burn. While all of the Forresters and Logans will react to the news of an official engagement between the unlikely pair, it's Brooke who is most likely to kick up a stink, particularly since the like-minded Steffi is well and truly preoccupied with other things. Given how utterly thrilled Ridge is going to be for his son, there's a very good chance that Brooke's attitude could cause a genuine rift between them. By the way, in her IG story, Noelle shared a fan video that chronicles Hope's journey from life with Liam to love with Thomas. Give it a watch by clicking on the photo to play the clip. Do you think we're set to hear wedding bells for Hope and Thomas? Do you think the news will lead Bridge to troubled waters? Let us know in the comments. Take a look back on the insane story of how Hope and Thomas got together in the gallery below. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching.